Hi everybody, this is John Zepp with Sales Actually. Welcome back to another edition. Today we're going to be talking about this whole concept of work from home versus work from in the office. With COVID, the whole world changed. And so we're going to talk about the benefits of both directions. I've got my preferences. I know what I like and why. And so we'll walk through that a little bit. And at the very end, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think as far as my preferences, right? I'll kind of walk through benefits and both sides, whether being in the office most of the time or working from home. And a lot of that obviously comes down to the role that you have. Also, I would love to have comments from you on which you prefer. What do you like best, whether work from home or work from the office or a combination of both, what your preferences are and why. So if you would share that in the comments, that'd be fantastic. All right, so here we go. Let's walk through work from home first. There's a incredible flexibility with that. Obviously, you can do what you need to do when you need to do it during the day, and so that's a good thing. You got no commute, so you're saving gas money, saving wear and tear on your vehicle, which is great. And if you're riding the train, you're saving those costs. So lots of savings there from the commute. Your wardrobe, man, I'm wearing sweats and t-shirts most days because I'm not going to the office and seeing people. Now that'll change when we go back in the office, but right now it's pretty comfortable. So my wardrobe costs and my dry cleaning costs have gone way down. That's a big deal. Food, right? You can eat at home, you make your own lunch, you can go out, you get a lot of different options when you're working from home, and you can save some money or spend the same money you were when you're working in the office most of the time. So yeah, that's it could go either way. If you got a family and you're working from home, they're close, right? And so there's opportunities for you to take a break during the day, go hang out with your kids, go play with them, with your wife, spouse, whatever, significant other, partner, whoever, right? But you can go spend time with family, so that's a good thing. The pet thing, right? So it's been goofy over the last year how many people have gotten new pets just to give them somebody to talk to. So you got that going on when you're working from home. And then there's that whole trust thing from the people you work for. So do they trust you to get the job done, be productive, and do all those things you need to do while you're there? So that could go either way, a positive or a negative. All right, so those are the top things I was thinking about. I'm sure there's other things that are benefits from working from home that I have not mentioned here. So let's talk about working in the office. So a couple of things that really stand out to me that I think are valuable in being in an office setting is the synergy of the people around you and being able to just stand up and ask a question or lean over the cubicle and say, hey, I ran into this. Have you had that before? You got any ideas? That kind of things. One of the other things that's really big about that is the energy of being together. So everybody brings a different level of energy, and when you can combine that in a team setting in the office, that could be a really huge thing. And then get the quick answers. So if somebody's right there, you just get a quick answer rather than having to find somebody and ping somebody, send an email, make a phone call to try to get an answer. You can get it a lot quicker a lot of times. And then there's some peer pressure, right? You got people around you, pounding the phones, sending emails, being productive, excited about what they're doing. That pushes people to do the same thing. So I think there's some peer pressure there. Is there increased productivity being in the office? Maybe, maybe not, right? But I think that may be a plus. And then there's relationships. It is hard to maintain a relationship over video and phone, right? When you're face to face to someone, it makes a huge difference from a relationship perspective. So again, that's the things that come to top of mind for me from the benefits of working in an office setting with a group of people. I'm sure there's more, so please add comments, suggestions, ideas, stuff that you've run across that you've seen as benefits. Now let's talk about the downside. First, let's start with the work from home. So there's been huge questions and studies done, and if I can find something that I think is relevant, I'll add that in the link below or the description of the video about the productivity of working from home versus working in the office. I think it can be argued either way. Some people will tell you that they're not as productive, and some people will tell you I'm more productive. So who knows? That could go either way. distractions. There are tons of distractions when you're from home that you may or may not have in the office. So that can be, one thing that'll be a productivity drainer, right? Those distractions. Some people struggle with having a routine when they're working from home. So I'm one that, man, I like the routine. I like, getting up at the same time, doing the same kind of things, getting in the office at the same time. So when you're working from home, sometimes that routine gets messed up and people struggle with that. Kids and the noise, right? You got kids, dogs, cats, whatever. The UPS guy comes to the door and your dog's barking. That noise can be a huge issue. And, if you got kids at home working, doing their schoolwork remotely, I mean, it's really a struggle. It can be a struggle, right? I think a lot of people have done some amazing things over the last year to handle that kind of stuff. And so I know there's amazing stories of both positive and negative sides of that. But, I can see it as, the potential to be a real issue with having to deal with everything going on there. Motivation can be a hard thing. When you're home by yourself on an island, sometimes it's hard to stay motivated to get the things done you need to get done. So that can be a struggle. A lot of people have really wrestled with the whole equipment thing. What do I have? Do I have the monitor set up? Do I have a docking station? Do I have the keyboard, mouse, chair, desk, all those things when they had to transition from being in an office to working from home? And so, walking through that whole thing, a lot of companies have really stepped up and done a great job in helping their employees figure out how to get a good setup that works, right? And then, the last thing and it's not the last thing, but it's the last thing that came to my mind was, the Wi-Fi challenges. When I'm working from home, the Wi-Fi bandwidth that I have is not as good as what I had at the office. So is there challenges with that? Absolutely. So making sure you've got a consistent Wi-Fi signal and bandwidth makes a world of difference. So that could be a challenge. And then let's roll over to the working from the office kind of disadvantages or struggles, cons, however you want to call it. The commute and the costs around, what it costs to drive or ride the train or whatever, and then the time it takes to do that. So I was commuting 30 to 45 minutes each way before I came to work from home. So that can be a huge thing. A lot less flexibility. If you've got to be in the office from, let's just say 8 to 5, it's hard to go do something that you need to get done during the day other than work. And so you get a little less flexibility when you're working from an office. Is there productivity challenges? Yeah, who knows, right? And it comes back to distractions and, somebody walking by and deciding they need to have a conversation with you when you're in the middle of something, and that's a challenge. So I think it can be a productivity hit sometimes. And then those distractions, and then relationships can be a little tricky too, working in the office. So I had that as a plus working in the office, but that can be a negative too. That can be a hard thing working through relationships. There are not very many people that I don't get along with, but there's been a couple in my career that I go, man, I do not want to be anywhere near that person or work with them day to day or see them for that matter. So I'm sure most of you have had that same scenario, hopefully not very often and hopefully not to a huge degree, but that can be an issue. And then you got the wardrobe challenge, and you got to, for me it was, dry cleaning shirts and slacks, and, I didn't wear a suit very often, but, having, nicer clothes and having them ready and the cost associated with that, that's a little bit of a challenge, right? From a work from the office kind of scenario. So the bottom line is I have a preference, right? And I'm sure most of you do as well. And I'd love to hear your preference in the comments. So my preference is I prefer to be in an office. All right, prefer to work from an office for all those things that I listed as positive. The energy of being around people, especially managing a team. It's great to be around that team and the camaraderie, esprit de corps. I don't even know what that means, but just the uplift of the energy of having those people around you and being able to see them work together, encourage each other, help each other, and be there to coach one-on-one, face-to-face makes a huge difference. So that's my preference. Have we all had to adjust over the last year? Absolutely, and I have too. And one of the things I did is I leased an office space in a business executive suite, and that way I've got that routine back. I'm going into an office there's no one else in the building, so I don't have any COVID issues, challenges, restrictions there. I see maybe 2 other people all day long, but I'm in a routine and I'm back to, I get up at the same time, I do the same things in the morning, I get in the office at the same time, I'm focused on work and don't have those distractions of being at home. So for me, that's the preference. So again, I'd love to hear comments from you all, what you do, what you like, what you prefer, kind of where things are. And I'm sure, like I have, you've seen all the surveys out on LinkedIn saying, what would you prefer going forward? You in the office, at home, a mix, that kind of thing. So I'd love to hear that from you. I'm not going to put it in a survey, but if you leave comments, that would be fantastic. With that, I'm gonna sign off. But just want to say thanks for watching, and go sell something. Thank you.